This is the fencing abomination that the Alachua sheriff, without a writ of execution or any lead execution issue signed by any judge, came in here and assisted Charles D. Hall and Astrid Hall and Cheyenne Hall to do to property own. Now, this is my riding arena, and I have a horse business, which is an autism-supported work for me because I'm totally and permanently disabled. I can't give any riding lessons, and it goes right through a third of our pasture grass. So the sheriff came here, and it was clear because Hall showed up and said, I have a judgment. I'm coming in. And then the sheriffs were in on standby inside on this disputed piece of property here that by boundary, by acquiescence, ownership of it passed 7 years after, at the earliest time that fence was out there on that boundary, shows in aerial photos of the property appraiser was at least 2001. So the statute of limitations to bring an ejectment suit, it looks like it expired in about 2008 and passed ownership automatically of this portion of land and allowed the theft of this property, allowed Halls to do it, all three Halls, and there's no court order that authorized the sheriffs to execute any judgment for this piece of land here. Apparently, Charles D. Hall's lawyer, Richard Fabiani, must have told the Halls to execute the judgment with the sheriff. And there's no court order that authorized this at all. And boundary by acquiescence would have automatically passed the land, first to Darlene Baylor and then to us. And this is what the Alachua sheriff has done. There's no ejectment lawsuit. There's no lis pendens. There's nothing. This is what the Alachua sheriff allowed to be done. Busted up the fencing out there. Fencing boards are laying across the property. Now, apparently Richard Fabiani, the lawyer for the Halls, must have advised the Halls to do this to try to tie my time up so that I don't make the appeal brief filing to obstruct the appeals pending in the... And one of the appeals, in one of the appeals, I tried to collect the riding lesson money owed to me. Aerial photos of the property appraiser show that this riding arena here had my horse jumps in it. It was about 200 by 300, all the way down to the end. It's part of the business premises my horse business uses. And the lawyer apparently told Hall, the lawyer told the circuit judge that Hall did almost $26,000 of property maintenance to my property, and he could set it off against what he owed me for the riding lessons. However, the lawyer, by telling his clients, the Halls, to do this, to obstruct the appeals, and also spoliated the evidence because Hall left all sorts of broken fencing and claimed part of the $26,000 for putting a ditch, jump, and fencing, repairing property maintenance fencing down at that end that he claims is his own. Well, if he owns that property there, he doesn't get to do work on his own property and claim a set off against me for my riding lessons for that. So this lawyer, I don't know what his thing is, and he doesn't return my calls. He won't talk to me. I have to call ACAP, the Florida Bar's ACAP, on him to even get him to call me back. He says he won't talk to me. So obviously, the lawyer must have told the Halls to execute this judgment. It was a judgment of dismissal against me. It had no lead execution issue in it. It did not make an award of ejectment of anyone from this property. And the lawsuit, further, the bankruptcy court has issued an order saying that we must have the ability to raise the incorrect legal description regarding this property, this entire property here with Darlene Baylor. Now, if we get a right to a hearing for the incorrect legal description, and our property abuts his property and he has a quitclaim deed, then obviously he may have an incorrect legal description. When ownership of this passed by boundary by acquiescence to Baylor, then to us, and then without any hearing about the potential that Hall has an incorrect legal description, and this is the abomination that now goes across my property, my riding arena rental for the horse business that provides my support as a person with autism. And this is from my front door. This is what we're seeing.